You should no longer be a Prime member.
Please, I'm trying to get everyone back to work. I'm gonna do everything that I can.
Then we have an understanding. Goodbye, Mayor.
Katy Perry, I just want to congratulate you on being the first astronaut to sing in space for real. Thanks, Jeff. It was one small step for women, one giant leap for my Lifetime's tour. By the way, it's Captain Perry now. I went to space for real. That makes me Space Captain Perry.
It was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
What happens when a pop star hijacks space for clout? You get the most roasted rocket ride in history. Katy Perry's astronaut moment was supposed to be empowering, groundbreaking, and unforgettable. Well, it was unforgettable, just not for the reasons she hoped. Instead of being remembered as a pioneer, Katy's Blue Origin stunt has gone down as one of the most tone-deaf, performative spectacles in recent memory. And now the ultimate blow has landed.
It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour.
South Park, the world's most savage satirists, have turned her 10-minute vanity trip into a brutal cartoon beatdown. But how did this all explode so spectacularly? Let's unpack the media meltdown, the celebrity mockery, and the suspicious details that have people asking, did Katy Perry really go to space? Or was this all just another influencer photo shoot with a higher budget? It all started with a launch that was framed as history in the making. On April 14th, 2025, Jeff Bezos' space company, Blue Origin, sent 6 passengers on a suborbital flight. Among the group, NASA engineers, journalists, and celebrities. But the headline name was Katy Perry. Yes, the pop star who once wore a cupcake bra at the Grammys was now calling herself Captain Perry and claiming her space trip was one small step for women. The media lapped it up.
You're officially an astronaut. How do you even format your lips to say something so stupid?
Oprah Winfrey wept, journalists gushed, and headlines everywhere declared it a revolutionary moment for womankind. But here's the problem. It wasn't revolutionary. It was a 10-minute automated ride in a billionaire's toy rocket. No piloting, no scientific breakthrough. Just cameras, scripted lines, and cringe-worthy sound bites. The backlash was immediate. Almost as soon as the capsule landed, the internet erupted.
Parachutes deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And all 3 pair air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Katy jumped out of the pod, kissed the ground, and declared her transformation as if she'd just survived a Mars mission. Her dramatic exit, complete with flower tributes and inspirational music, was met with collective eye rolls.
Katy!
Social media didn't hold back. Memes exploded. People called it the most embarrassing celebrity stunt of the decade. One user wrote, Katy Perry just turned space travel into a Hallmark movie. Others mocked her, calling herself Space Captain Perry, with comments like, you took a roller coaster ride, not a moonwalk.
She essentially took a roller coaster ride.
And it wasn't just online trolls. Even other celebrities and commentators began joining in the mockery, calling it condescending, cringe, and a vanity parade in orbit. But then came the final blow. South Park, never once to miss a pop culture disaster, leaked details of their upcoming episode. The plot, a brutal parody of Katy's space trip. Their version, a celebrity rocket ride where the passengers treat zero gravity like a red carpet, and Katy's animated face melts off mid-flight from a cosmetic procedure gone wrong.
You should no longer be a Prime member.
Please, I'm trying to get everyone back to work. I'm gonna do everything that I can.
Then we have an understanding. Goodbye, Mayor.
Katy Perry, I just want to congratulate you on being the first astronaut to sing in space for real.
Thanks, Jeff. It was one small step for women, one giant leap for my lifetime's tour. By the way, it's Captain Perry now. I went to space for real. That makes me Space Captain Perry.
And let's be honest, if South Park roast you, it's over. They've dragged Disney, Meghan Markle, even Bob Iger. Now Katy Perry is next. According to leaks, South Park's version of the Blue Origin flight features characters resembling Perry, Bezos, and other celebrity elites using space as a backdrop for their personal brand building, right down to filming TikToks mid-flight. One leaked scene allegedly shows Katy staring into the camera, ignoring Earth and the stars, just to get her lighting right. Brutal. But here's where things get even weirder. Some viewers began questioning whether the flight even happened the way it was portrayed. Critics started pointing out oddities. The capsule looked pristine, as if it hadn't re-entered Earth's atmosphere. Real space pods are scorched, burnt, and beat up after re-entry. This one looked fresh out of a Tesla showroom. Even the door had a knob. Yes, a knob. Something no actual space capsule would have. Real hatches open outward and are sealed under pressure, but this one opened like a bathroom stall, with Jeff Bezos himself awkwardly running over with a tool that looked suspiciously like a stage prop. Cameras even caught crew members being told not to open the hatch before the real moment was staged again. All of this led people to ask the inevitable question: was this spaceflight real, or was it a Hollywood illusion for Instagram?
Got it? 1, 2, 3, taking up space!
Tamir's in space!
It's okay. Leave Flynn up there. Flynn, bye. You look.
Flynn, I gotcha. I gotcha, Flynn.
Gotcha. Proud of you, Flynn. Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon. That's amazing.
Some suggested the zero-G moment could have been faked using parabolic flights, also known as the vomit comet, where you can film weightlessness on a diving aircraft. The footage from the capsule was heavily edited, cropped, and polished. Even the hair of the passengers didn't behave like it does in true microgravity. Critics online posted comparison shots of real astronauts versus Katy and crew, asking, where's the science? Where's the authenticity? Was this just a glorified amusement park ride marketed as history? Then came the feminist branding, which poured gasoline on the fire. Perry and the other female passengers framed the launch as a major win for women, but instead of applause, it triggered even more criticism. Commentators argued that turning spaceflight into a gendered spectacle was belittling the actual accomplishments of female astronauts who trained for decades, endured grueling missions, and advanced human understanding of the cosmos. This wasn't a leap for womankind. One viral post read, "It was a step backwards into influencer culture disguised as empowerment." Many felt the stunt undermined the real legacy of pioneers like Sally Ride and Valentina Tereshkova. And technically, Katy Perry isn't even an astronaut. According to spaceflight experts, being an astronaut requires operating the spacecraft or contributing to its mission. The Blue Origin trip was fully automated. None of the passengers touched a control panel. They were cargo, high-profile, camera-ready cargo. That's why critics started calling them space luggage. You don't get to be called an astronaut just because you floated for 3 minutes in Bezos' vanity rocket.
My team to poll, like, what did they do during their 2 days? Okay, here they are. Their tasks, they spent the past 2 days at facilities for Blue Origin going over preparations, according to Blue Origin's Ariane Cornell. Their tasks included practicing how to get into and out of the New Shepard capsule. You go in, and then you go out. Oh, once again, ladies. Okay. The group also practiced how to put on and take off their seatbelts.
This isn't just about Katy Perry, it's about the collapse of meaning in modern celebrity culture. We live in an age where attention is currency, and no stunt is too far if it buys headlines. Space, once the final frontier of exploration, is now a content studio. And Perry didn't break barriers. She broke the illusion that any of this meant something. She treated outer space like a confessional from The Bachelor, cameras rolling, Earth in the background, and not a single moment of awe, just branding. What's even more telling is how South Park saw all of this and immediately knew what it meant. They didn't need to exaggerate, they just drew what happened. And that alone is damning. In a world where truth is stranger than fiction, satire becomes documentary. Katy's real-life behavior was more ridiculous than anything Trey Parker and Matt Stone could have invented. In fact, the South Park parody almost feels too kind. Because while Katy Perry was staring at herself in zero gravity, the rest of us were staring at the absurdity of it all. A billionaire builds a rocket. Celebrities treat it like a catwalk. And when the internet calls it out, they cry sexism. But it's not sexist to say this was shallow, it's honest. And that's exactly what South Park does. They hold up a mirror and say, look, this is what fame has become. This whole saga is also about trust. When celebrities take a literal rocket trip and turn it into an Instagram reel, the public starts to question everything. Was this for science, for women, for humanity? Or was it just a staged, expensive TikTok with a better background?
That space mission this morning, that's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parrot thing that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like, I'm disgusted, literally, I'm disgusted.
The line between meaningful achievement and manufactured spectacle is now so blurry, it's laughable. Katy's trip didn't push boundaries, it pushed buttons, and South Park pressed all of them. And let's not forget Jeff Bezos in all of this, a man already roasted by South Park back in 2018 as a power-mad alien with telepathy, now back again as a rocket-launching Bond villain, testing cosmetic procedures in orbit, and Lauren Sanchez crying on cue, Gayle King calling them heroes. It all felt like a fever dream, a reality show with $1 billion budget. And when you strip away the PR, the hashtags, and the inspirational quotes, what are you left with? A glorified roller coaster ride dressed up as a feminist triumph. So where does this leave us? With Katy Perry's face melting off, literally, in cartoon form, and the rest of Hollywood wondering if they're next. Because the truth is, this was never about space. It was about spotlight. It was about ego. It was about pretending to break barriers while doing the absolute least. And that's the real story South Park captured. Not just the rocket launch, but the crash landing of celebrity culture. So next time someone tells you Katy Perry is an astronaut, just remember, she took a 10-minute trip in an automated pod, kissed the ground like she survived Apollo 13, and treated the cosmos like a music video set. And if you're wondering how that ends, ask the animators over at South Park. They've already got the ending drawn.